Everyone, please join me in welcome Roberto.
Hello. Yes, thank you so
Thank you,
much.
and the stage is yours.
Thank you. So good afternoon to each and everyone. I'm Roberto B. Mabalot Jr. I'm the Vice Consul Commercial and Trade Attaché of the Philippines to Hong Kong. So outside the Philippines, we're known as the Philippine Trade and Investment Center. But in the Philippines, the nomenclature that we use is the Department of Trade and Industry. So we assist foreign businesses who are looking for suppliers in the Philippines, and we also assist, of course, Filipinos who are looking to expand and who are also looking for suppliers in Hong Kong, Macau, and mainland China. So today, I'll be discussing to you Philippines and Hong Kong trade opportunities. So hopefully, you guys would be able to get something from this presentation. So before anything, of course, this slide presents that strategic framework of the Philippine Export Development Plan 2023 to 2028. This focuses on building the Philippines as an agile export powerhouse in key industries. This describes our aspiration at the national and firm level. This also serves as a guidepost of exporters as they strive for global competitiveness. We, from the Philippines and the Department of Trade and Industry, of course, we want to empower our exporters to be more reliable, design-driven, technology-driven, sustainable, and forward-looking. And we do this by proposing strategies in 3 key industry development strategies, which are first, those that address constraints to production. Second, those that is aimed towards developing a strong and innovative export ecosystem. And thirdly, those that are aimed at increasing the Philippines' mindshare in the global market. In implementing the Philippine Export Development Plan, we are looking at 3 key outcomes, specifically diversifying our markets, improving market access. So we do this by assisting our exporters to enter such markets that they're having a hard time entering into. Just to give to you an example, a couple of years ago, the Department of Agriculture, together with the Department of Trade and Industry, was able to assist our durian exporters to be able to access mainland China. Thirdly, we also assist our exporters to improve their export scale and scope. We do that by the government assisting the exporters in their research and development. We have our Department of Science and Technology, who assists them in innovating and improving through research and development. Lastly, we also improve export environment by providing policy. So we, from the Department of Trade and Industry, we talk to our stakeholders, our exporters, and find out whatever issues they have in relation to exporting, and then we move for policy to be improved and to be enacted in the Philippines. Now, moving forward, as you can see in this statistics, you'll see here the numbers with our 2024 trade overview. This is sourced from the Department of Trade and Industry trade line. So you may visit this website to get these statistics. So the Philippines' total trade was robust, specifically with China leading at 42.26 billion US dollars, which is 21.1% share. Second would be Japan, which amounted to 20.40 billion US dollars. Third is US, which amounted to 20.30 billion US dollars. Now, of course, in relation to Hong Kong is our 6th trading partner with trade amounting to 11.64 billion US dollars, or 5.8% of our total trade. This is in 2024. We exported to Hong Kong 9.6 billion US dollars, ranking 3rd globally. And also we imported from Hong Kong 2.04 billion US dollars, which ranks 14th. globally. Whenever I encounter foreign businesses, they would always assume that the products that we export into Hong Kong would be agricultural or food products, but that's not the case in general. So this statistics tells us Hong Kong is a powerhouse for our exports, especially electronics, and a strategic re-export hub to Asia and mainland China. The lower import figures suggest room to grow for Hong Kong, so Hong Kong can supply to us in relation to this. This number highlights our strategic trade ties, but also the potential to balance the relationship. Now, shifting to imports, the Philippines brought in 127.53 billion US dollars in goods in 2024. Our top import reflects our industrial needs, which are first, petroleum oil at 6.89 billion US dollars, which is 5.4% share in the total imports, followed by semiconductor materials at 4.48 billion, and digital integrated circuits are 4.37 billion. This supports our energy demands and electronic manufacturing, a key export driver for the Philippines. We also have light petroleum oil and crude oil, which rounds out the top 5, emphasizing our reliance on energy imports. So looking at suppliers, China dominates with 32.82 billion, a 25.7% share, followed by Indonesia with 10.63 billion US dollars, and Japan at 10.07 billion US dollars. Hong Kong, on the other hand, has the amount of 2.04 billion US dollars, which only holds a 1.6% share of the total. And as stated earlier, Hong Kong is 14th in rank. While this is small, Hong Kong supplies critical machines and electronics aligning with our import needs. So Hong Kong can still increase its share in these high-value sectors. On the other hand, we have Philippine exports. Now, as you can see here, in 2024, we exported 73.2 billion US dollars in merchandise, with service sector at 52 billion, up 7.5% from 2023. This statistics comes from the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Our top exports are high-driven, digital integrated circuits, which leads at 15.30 billion US dollars, a 20.9% share, followed by semiconductor devices at 6.89 billion US dollars. Wiring sets for vehicles, input-output units, and storage units also rank high, showing our electronic prowess. So just to share with you, one of our exhibitor participants in the Philippine Trade and Investment Center booth is IMI. IMI is located all over the world. With this company is Filipino-owned, and they're providing chips, electronic devices in relation to motor vehicles and all other electronic needs that you may have. So a lot of people are not that familiar that we have these types of companies which originated or are located in the Philippines. So from these statistics, our top export destination are US, with 12.13 billion, Japan with 10.33 billion, and Hong Kong with 9.60 billion, or a 13.1% share, which Hong Kong ranks third. So Hong Kong's demand for our electronics is massive, and its role as a gateway to China amplifies its importance. So basically, our re-export, the products that we import in Hong Kong are generally re-exported outside Hong Kong, or specifically to mainland China, just to share with you guys. So again, to emphasize, our merchandise export in 2024 totaled 73.2 billion. This figure reflects our strength in electronics, agri-food, and other sector. So as an exporting nation, we're diversifying our portfolio and scaling up to meet global demands. So Hong Kong as a top destination benefits from this growth, particularly in high-tech goods. So beyond merchandise, our service exports reached for 52 billion in 2024, growing 7.5% from 2023. So this includes IT, business process outsourcing, and tourism-related services. While today's focus is on goods, this growth highlights our diverse economy, which complements our trade with Hong Kong. So let's zoom in our trade with Hong Kong. So the total merchandise trade has been quite resilient. As you can see, from 2020 to 2024, this would be the statistics. So exports to Hong Kong dominated at 9.60 in 2024, while imports at 2.04 billion in 2024. The peak of exports to Hong Kong was 10.36 billion US dollars in 2022, and considering the fact that this was exactly right after the pandemic, a lot of businesses are not quite familiar with the fact that even during the pandemic, one of our airlines from the Philippines continuously traveled from Philippines to Hong Kong, even if there were restrictions, and even though there weren't passengers being brought in, what was being brought in was basically merchandise from the Philippines. So Hong Kong's role as a re-export hub makes it a strategic partner for reaching mainland China and of course beyond. Now, these are the specifics for the top 10 Philippine export products to Hong Kong. So in 2024, our export totaled 9.6 billion, with electronic products leading at 8.18 billion US dollars, which is 85.1% share of the total. Second would be a distant second will be gold, which amounted to 601.9 million US dollars. Then other manufacturing materials at 290.9 million US dollars. Smaller but significant exports include electronic equipments, machinery, fish, and processed food, each under 1% but still growing. This heavy reliance on electronic reflects Hong Kong's role in the global tech supply chain. Gold exports highlights the mineral resources of the Philippines, while agri-food items like fish and processed food showed diversified potential for the Philippines. So Hong Kong businesses can leverage our electronic dominance and explore emerging sectors that we have in the Philippines. So on the import side, we brought in 2.04 billion US dollars from Hong Kong. In 2024, machinery and mechanical appliances lead at 782.6 million US dollars, which is 38.3% share, followed by electronic equipments at 651.9 million US dollars. Special transactions, optical instruments, and plastics also feature, with smaller contribution from leather goods and apparel. So this profile shows Hong Kong's strength in high-value tech and machinery, aligning with our import needs for manufacturing. The lower import value compared to export suggests an opportunity for Hong Kong companies to bring in and expand their presence in the Philippines. So this slide, basically, I'll just explain it to you since it's quite hard to see. So this dives into the sourcing opportunities for Hong Kong firms, which is a cornerstone of today's discussion. So the Philippines is a key supplier to Hong Kong with potential in high-value products like electronic integrated circuits, processor, and storage units. This slide lists top products with export potential, including transistors, capacitors, and even gold. So the legend shows export potential. So the export potential will be the darker shade of blue there, while actual exports would be the lighter circular dot there, and the gap which we aim to close. So the line in between the darker shade of blue and the dot there would be the export potential. So these products span electronic equipments, machinery, precious metal, and optical instruments, aligning with Hong Kong's tech-driven market. So in this slide, we ranked our top products with sourcing potential for Hong Kong. Again, from printers and copying machines to photosensitive semiconductor devices and wristwatches. This span electronics, machinery, and optical products. For instance, electronic integrated circuits like amplifiers and part of data processing machines are high on the list. So from this, we quantify our sourcing potential. The Philippines ranks among the top 20 global suppliers for 395 tariff lines imported by Hong Kong, based on international data center data. So this includes electronics, machinery, and more. The total value of Hong Kong's imports for these products is massive, and our exports to the world in these categories are significant. Yet the value of Hong Kong's import from us shows a gap we can fill. So the smaller circle here would be the value of Hong Kong imports from the Philippines. So these are actual, this is the actual imports from the Philippines. The black circle there would be the total Philippine exports of the same products, while the red circle there would be the total Hong Kong imports of the same products. So you can see the potential of growth based from this. This is a litany, basically a list of specific products with potential of export from the Philippines to Hong Kong. So these are 5 products ranked among the top 20 global suppliers to Hong Kong. So for electronic integrated circuits like processors, we exported 14.95 billion worldwide, ranking 9th around the world, with Hong Kong importing 2.89 billion from us against a 95.61 billion market share. So other circuits see 11.69 billion in global exports from the Philippines, with 5.46 billion to Hong Kong. We also have wiring sets for vehicles, storage units, and memory circuits also show strong rankings, specifically 4th, 7th, and 9th globally. These figures highlights our electronic strength and untapped potential in the Hong Kong market. So let's move a little bit forward. So on this slide, this would show the focus on what we import from Hong Kong. So the Philippines rank among the top 20 global imports for 562 tariff lines exported by Hong Kong per International Trade Center data. This includes machinery, electronics, and other high-value goods. While specific values aren't detailed, our imports from Hong Kong total to 2.04 billion, with potential to grow in tech and manufacturing inputs. This complementary trade strengthens our partnership. So as you can see here, the smaller circle here would be the actual value of Philippine imports from Hong Kong, while the black circle here shows the total Philippine imports from the world of the same products. And then the larger circle here would be the total Hong Kong exports to the world of the same product. So these show the actual potential that the Hong Kong companies might be able to expand on in the Philippines. Now, since we've been talking about machines and electronic parts, we'll dive a little bit with the agricultural or food products. So the Philippines' agri-food industry plays an important role in the nation's economy and encompasses the production, processing, and distribution of agricultural and food products. In 2024, the agricultural sector faced significant challenges, which led to contraction in output. But the value of production in agriculture and fisheries decreased by 2.2% in the fourth quarter of 2024. So the key products from the Philippines relies on staple crops like rice, corn, and sugar, while key export products include coconut, banana, pineapple, mango, and avocado. So this slide showcases our flagship agri-food exports, specifically pineapples and bananas, both frozen and fresh. Pineapples known as Ananas commosus and bananas are global favorites, with Philippines ranking second worldwide in both. These tropical fruits are perfect for Hong Kong's quality-conscious consumers who value fresh, safe, and flavorful produce, considering the fact that Hong Kong and the Philippines is located quite near, and it would generally take you 1.5 hours to 2 hours to travel Hong Kong to the Philippines or vice versa. These fresh products would be quite easier to transport as compared to purchasing it further away from Hong Kong, which in general would be like European countries. So basically, these photos that you can see here, these are the agricultural products which are already allowed market access to mainland China. So it was only a few years ago wherein durian was allowed market access to mainland China. And just to share to you, in one of our trade fairs that we participated in mainland China, which is the China International Import and Export Fair, CIIE, our durian products are always the popular products that we are able to sell to mainland China. Just last year, roughly the estimated sales was around $1 billion. So let's broaden our view of the agricultural sector. So this slide outlines our key crops, fisheries, livestock, and poultry. For exports, we lead in coconut, banana, pineapple, and mango, alongside tuna, seafood, and shrimps. So just to give an example, there are a lot of seafood being brought into Hong Kong and mainland. A specific company which purchases our seafood would be our restaurant called Yongki here in Hong Kong. So staples like rice and milkfish support our domestic needs, but our export focus is on high-value products like processed meat and fruits. So Hong Kong's demand for seafood and fresh produce aligns perfectly with our strengths. This diversity positions us as a reliable supplier for the agricultural needs of Hong Kong. Oh, sorry. So this shows the export sector, which exhibits the performance for the past 5 years. In 2024, the total food export reached 7.13 billion, reflecting a 22.30% growth from the previous year and a 5.70% increase from 2020. Now, moving forward, this slide shows the export per country. It shows a steady growth over the past 5 years, reaching 7.13 billion in 2024, reflecting a 5.70% increase from the previous 3 years. Key markets include Europe, Southeast Asia, and select Asian markets. The US remains the top export market, posting a 6.70% increase to $1.35 billion in 2024, reaffirming its strong demand for Philippine agricultural products. For Hong Kong, we have $90.94 million that of our agricultural products which are being brought in Hong Kong, which rank 14. So that's within a 7.13 billion total. Our export to Hong Kong dipped slightly with a 1.5% CAGR, but the 22.68 billion Hong Kong agri-food market offers great potential. So this slide specifically is for mainland China. Since mainland China is a major player in the Philippines in relation to trade, it ranks second globally for agri-food imports. China's 1.42 billion population and GDP per capita drives massive demand. Its diverse language and economic strength make it a trade hub, while not our focus for today. China's proximity to Hong Kong and shared trade network amplifies Hong Kong's role as a gateway for mainland China. So our agri-food export to China is at 829.79 million US dollars. Our subsequent slide would be specifically for Hong Kong. So Hong Kong's ranking is 18th globally for agri-food imports. Hong Kong's 7.3 million population and GDP per capita creates a sophisticated market. Its 22.68 billion agri-food import includes 90.94 million US dollars from the Philippines in 2024. With food inflation stabilizing at 1.5% by quarter of 2025, demand for quality fruits, seafood, and organic products is strong. As a trading hub, Hong Kong facilitates transshipments to Asia, aligning with our bananas, pineapples, and tuna. So this slide lists down some of the big food companies that are located in the Philippines and that export to the world. So just to give an example, of course, we have Dole Philippines, Del Monte Philippines. Dole Philippines produces and exports bananas, pineapples, and other fresh and processed fruits, while Del Monte Philippines specializes in canned fish, processed fruit products. These two companies are very apparent and can be easily seen in the market here in Hong Kong. We're quite fortunate that there are actually several supermarkets here in Hong Kong that are already selling some Filipino products like Welcome and Marketplace. So if you want to know more, basically you can easily contact us. So let's go to the end. Okay, so our key message is basically Philippines is among the top global suppliers of products being imported by Hong Kong. And there is a wide scope for the Philippines and Hong Kong to expand its bilateral trade based on the existing and projected demands and supply capacities. And of course, our existing free trade agreements with our neighbors and also other countries around the world would show a preferential and stable trade environment to further strengthen trade. And just to update you, the Philippines is also pushing for a JEC with Hong Kong for there to be improved market access and basically joint partnership between the region and the country. So with that, if you have any inquiries, you can easily contact us at hongkong@dti.gov.ph. We also have several social media accounts in Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. You can also visit our website, which is located at www.dti.gov.ph/overseas/Hong Kong. So if you have any inquiries, please do not hesitate to contact us. And thank you so much for listening to this presentation.